what is power and how do we access it? That's one question that many people ask and not too many have a direct answer to. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 things that you have that cost no money that will give you absolute power when you start integrating them and also expanding them. And these 3 things are your ego, your shadow, and your nervous system. And as a whole, what I'm going to do today is talk about how to integrate your ego and shadow into your greatest weapons or superpowers. And then your nervous system is absolute power in any room. And if you have the strongest nervous system and you do the work, people will endlessly feel safe, secure, and endlessly attract to you to be interested in you because you're creating this space of safety and security, which everybody's after. That's the true sexy in this lifetime, I think, is having that strong nervous system that everybody feels safe and secure on. And let's start with the nervous system. I really like this one because from what I've seen in my nervous system is the more grounded, the more safe and secure, and the more present I feel, the more people that naturally attract to me. And in going to an event last night, it was called Internet Marketing Party here in Austin, Texas. When I walked in the room, I could just feel the, what's a good way to put on that? It's such a hard feeling. It's like I walked in the room and I immediately, my nervous system told me where to go, who to talk to, and how to navigate the room. It also showed me at one point a really cool trick with your nervous system in a big room is when everybody starts mirroring you, your nervous system is in control, and the strongest nervous system in any room is the person in control, whether they want to be or not. And a real simple method to even test your nervous system in a room is to people start mirroring you. So if you're sitting over here and you're relaxed and you're kicked back and they start doing that too and everybody around you does, that means they're mimicking your nervous system and your nervous system's in control. Now you're probably asking, how do you get your nervous system to a point like this? And I'll share with you my personal journey because it was very uncomfortable, and that's the secret. Is like you have to be willing to invest in discomfort to create more comfort. For this entire video, that's the theme. Nervous system specifically is, you got to look at it this way. It's like my method was cold plunging, sananga, and now cold plunging, breathwork, sananga, and entrepreneurship, and that order really, because let me tell you let's put entrepreneurship first, because entrepreneurship is one of the greatest tests and ways to grow your nervous system, because no matter how good you are, no matter how far ahead of everybody you are, their business just goes up and down. It's endlessly, you'll have it all one day and you'll have nothing the next day. And it's those triggers, those charges, like all that discomfort, all that worry, all that stress, all that anxiety, all the fear, literally all the control. And then you hit this point where you're just like, oh, that's not doing anything. Let's not do that anymore and see what happens. And then you start to fall into trust, surrender, flow. And you can only get to that trust and surrender and flow when your nervous system is elevated enough to support the energy coming in. And for me, I don't know if it's like you, but it's like I get hit with lightning bolts from God. I call them, rockets from God. This is funny. I just realized I didn't do my hair today. But it's like these lightning bolts from God come in, and it's like they used to debilitate me, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm spinning out. And then after I did the work on my nervous system, and you should too, is like you just feel that energy hit and you can hold it and use it. And the way to get to that level is, number one, like entrepreneurship's an endless test. Number two, I'd say cold plunging was one of the most beneficial things I did to grow and expand my nervous system. And for anybody watching, when I first started, I was like, I got to do 3 minutes. That almost created trauma because it was so hard and difficult. But in starting off with that method, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I'd recommend starting off with like 90 seconds, going to 1.5 minutes, going to 3, then going to 5, and progressing your way up. And that was in 47-degree water. But I remember my first time going in there, I was like, this sucks. And I had just mentioned to myself that I was like, I want to do this consistently. And after that first time in the water, I was like, what are we going to do? But in that water, I learned so much. Number one, when it's freezing cold and it shocks you, you have 2 options: hold your breath or breathe. And the trick is to breathe. To connect with your nervous system, it's endlessly connect to the breath, and on that exhale, you can feel it. I can feel mine endlessly expand and hold me, and that's how I know I'm growing it. And when you hit that freezing cold water in a cold plunge, I'll be honest, every time I'm like, this sucks, but one of my mentors taught me a really good mindset. Is like, this is so worth it. This is so worth it. This is so worth it. That's what I tell myself when I'm getting into a cold plunge, because in the reality of it, I'm spending 90 seconds to 3 minutes being uncomfortable for about 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Then after you connect to your breath, and in the cold plunge I learned this too, is like the more you focus on your breath and you stay in presence, the warmer the water feels. And then also the water actually doesn't have a temperature. We perceive it and we also think and know it's cold, but is it actually cold? And I would say yes, but no, because I even got to a point with it where I was like, well, if this reality isn't real, my mind controls everything, I can turn the water warm. And the water got pretty warm. And it wasn't like, and then you'd move a little bit and it would remind you that it was cold. But for moments there, especially going fully under and then coming back up, you could feel your body fluctuating the heat, or I could at least feel it. And it was such a cool experience that we did. And it endlessly taught me. It was like, and even on doing cold plunging consistently, there were days that were really hard, and those are the days I really needed to be in there, because once again, it was like, here's a 3-minute investment on average for about a 3-minute, return, or a 3-hour return. And I kid you not, that's why I did it, was because for 3 minutes of feeling uncomfortable, discomfort, and like just learning to connect with my nervous system, it would create 3 hours of comfort, ease, flow, clarity. And I was like, this is awesome. Let's do this as much as we can. And then I learned you can't. Then it caused cortisol rebound. And then that was about the end of my cold plunging journey. I did it for about 2.5 years, probably 3 to 4 times a week, with series of like 1 to 2 weeks off. And then there were also a series of like doing it for 14 days straight, which I learned not to do because the cortisol rebound was so bad. But it was really cool to see how I went from this creative with intuitive ideas and couldn't sit still long enough to like being able to sit still, being able to focus, being able to channel that energy and create something from it through what I call like alchemy, right? And then along this process, and we'll get to the ego next, I'll save the shadow for last because that's probably one of my favorite things to talk about, is, the ego was endlessly this thing that comes in and it's like, we're trying to grow over here and we're like, let's grow, baby. And then the ego comes in and it's like, hey, don't do that. It feels off. And it's not off. It's actually what I learned from a friend, Soleil Rod, was like, this is a zone of possibility. When you decide to make a change, right? And your ego's like, don't do it. We're not used to this. This is the unknown. That is the time to connect to your breath with the nervous system. Exhale, soften it. And when you soften it, you open it. And if you're trying to receive something that's this big with hands like this, you're going to drop it. But when you can receive something this big and your hands are this big, it lands. And part of that is you have to allow the ego to do its job, which is it wants to protect you. And if you're doing something new that is expanding yourself, your ego doesn't want that, right? Because it's scary. It's like, why would we grow? We're perfectly fine here, is what the ego endlessly says. But what the ego doesn't know is that you're growing it to a new level so that it can be more comfortable. And it loves comfort, but also humans need to grow and adapt in order to continually live, because if you're not growing and adapting, no change, you're dying. And if you're dying, you're not truly living. So change is something that humans resist due to nature, due to our ego. But if you do this will help you connect to your ego, and it actually turns it into something that's a worrywart and will endlessly destruct your day and show up and be like, hey, we got this, or hey, don't make that change, continue doing what you're doing, even though it's not successful. At least we know what will happen, and at least we can predict what will happen and have the worst thoughts come in our mind so that our reality isn't as bad as it actually is, right? Like, that's the ego protecting you, versus what I do is put my ego to work, and I treat it like Siri. I'm like, hey, ego. And it's like, ding, ding. And I'm like, what are we having for dinner tonight? Whenever I feel it come in and it starts distracting me, I'll be like, hey, figure out what we're having for dinner tonight, ego. And I shit you not, every night I know what I'm having for dinner on the fly. It comes in out of nowhere. Another instance of what I'll do is be like, hey, ego, what am I going to wear to that event tonight? And I'll give my ego all these little tasks, but instead of asking Siri, I tell my ego exactly what I need, and it goes off and it serves me. And that's what I believe is like, when you can integrate your ego into your reality, it's your greatest personal assistant. And that's how I approach my ego, as my personal assistant. And in a sense to earlier, cold plunging is exercising my nervous system to expand it. It's kind of like our bodies, but it's my nervous system. It's my true power. You can't see it, but everybody can feel it. And then our ego is this chatterbox that wants to keep us safe, but let it keep you safe. Let it keep you in line. Ask it what you're going to have for dinner. Ask it what you're going to wear. Ask it any question that is on your mind, and give it to your ego and let it come back to you, because it'll endlessly bring it back to you and be like, here, this is what you're going to wear tonight. Because it lands in me with clairvoyant images, intuitive pings, claircognizant. Like there's just all these things that come in and it's like, bing, and I'm like, thank you. And then it's satisfied, right? Because if something serves us, it has needs like we do. Like I need to eat, I need to sleep, I need to create YouTube videos, I need to do all this stuff to feel like myself, whether it's moving the needle or not. Our ego is the same thing. It's here to protect us. It's here to serve us. And much like a person, if you're into serving others and they won't let you serve them, you feel worthless and your ego feels the same. So why not allow it to do what it's here to do? And if you know what you're here to do, when people allow you to do it, you feel seen, and your ego is the same way. It's like, hey, I'm over here. Hey, remember me? Hey, I'm trying to help you. Hey, I want to keep you safe. And if you're like, shut up, it's going to destroy your day like you do or your friends do when they don't see you, right? So see your ego, allow it to help you. Say, hey, ego, how are you today? Thank you for getting in my way and reminding me that you're here, but, I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch today and I'm busy. Can you figure that out? Come back to me when you have it. Cool, it comes back. Same thing with dinner. It's really cool. I swear to God, this is one of the coolest tricks. So that's how you can integrate your ego, which everybody talks about killing their egos. And I'll say this, I've had multiple ego deaths through ayahuasca, plant medicine, life in general. Like I swear my ego has probably died at least 8 to 10 times. And they've been profound ego deaths. And every time I have an ego death, it's like, whoa. And and I get very jaw asphyxiated, and with my neck, I'll almost pop my neck back, and I'll be like, whoa, and I'll feel my reality shift, and that's how I know my ego died. And then it doesn't mean it's gone forever. That means the better, higher form of the ego is coming to the surface, which is it's like upgrading an employee from a virtual assistant to a personal assistant, from a personal assistant to like a badass personal assistant. And those are all the ego deaths, because all you're doing is growing your soul to your higher self or your highest timeline. And that version of your ego is like outdated software. It's got to go. You got to get the update. And once you got the update and you're in your highest self or in your highest timeline and you got your highest ego there and your nervous system is very well expanded, woo, talk about power and true magnetism. It's like you don't have to chase anymore. Everything starts coming to you. But instead of chasing things, you're like, well, what do I do if I don't chase? Last, we're going to talk about integrating the shadow. This is my favorite thing, because the way I view it is like our shadows are like these little monsters that we carry around. Oh, I don't have it. Oh, yeah, I do. It's like our shadows are these, say our shadow is this little crystal, and we carry it around in this little backpack, and we endlessly have it with us, and we're like, all right, I gotta carry this thing with me that I know is here, but I can't let anybody see it, because if they see it, they're going to think I'm weird, they're going to think I'm strange, they're going to look at me different. It's going to cause me to stand out. And the funny thing is, we all want to stand out in life, right? Like the fawning thing is to neuron mirror everybody around you and feel like you're fitting in, when the truest gift in life is being different. It's standing out. It's having unique gifts, skills, wisdom, talents, being multifaceted and learning how to put it all together, right? But if we keep our ego and these shadow monsters in our bag, we can essentially be doing something, and then all of a sudden it pops out and it causes destruction and havoc in our life and chaos. And we're like, oh my God, the monster's out. It's like a dragon just popping out of nowhere. And you're like, oh shit, here's the dragon. This monster's here. It's going to destroy my life. Everything I've worked hard on is going to die. It's going to burn this shit down in seconds. And that's what tends to happen when our shadows come out, because we're suppressing them. And much like our ego, they have needs and they want to be expressed. But if we don't express them, they express themselves. And they do it in the scariest, most harsh ways to get our attention. And then we're like, collateral damage. We're like, all right, get back in there. And we put it back in there and we're like, whew, all right, let's pick up the pieces. Let's do whatever we need to do to fix those mistakes. And then next thing you know, we're like suppressing it again. It comes out and that cycle continues. And we're like, why does this keep popping out? And it's popping out to get your attention, because once again, it has a need and it wants to be expressed. It's your greatest magnetic pull in life, is to integrate your shadow. Because once you integrate your shadow, you solve a massive problem for other people, and they know you have the answer, and it endlessly pulls people towards you. Or a way to think about it is, when you integrate your shadow, you're turning that monster into an angel. And instead of popping out of nowhere and destroying your life like the monster does, when you integrate your shadow, it actually turns into an angel that will endlessly lead you into a room of success and pull people towards you. It's kind of like the magical horse to the chariot. It's like, let's go. And instead of leading you to the rooms of battle, it leads you to Eden over and over again. And the people you talk to endlessly attract to you. And you don't have to search for them. It's like I went to an event last night, and I literally just went to the room. I stood somewhere. People attracted over. We had a dope conversation. And then I went to another spot. People attracted over. And then we had a breakout session. And I had a group, and I went last. And everybody started, mirroring my nervous system. And I was like, oh, this is a full send. Let's go. And I didn't have to perform. My old shadow was like, we have to perform in front of these people. I just shared what I was excited about and what I've been working hard on and how it could benefit everybody in the room. And endlessly, these people are like, holy shit, this guy solved it, right? But it's the shadow aspect that got me there. It's like forever I suppressed my metaphysical side because I was a content creator working with agencies and brands, but I had this weird knowledge for the occult, for metaphysics, and I had all these gifts, and I'm a full-blown psychic, but I didn't tell anybody, but I endlessly used it to work with brands, and they're like, how does this guy magically create these solutions? And I'm like, I don't know, it's the Chris effect. I don't know, it just came to me, right? Like I would bypass it, but endlessly I was putting that monster in the cage and was like, don't tell people you're here, but thank you for serving me. And now I've integrated it where everything I talk about is metaphysics based. It's our intuition, it's our spiritual gift. It's integrating your shadow into your greatest magnetic pull. It's integrating your ego into your personal assistant that's always there to serve you. It's expanding and growing your nervous system into being something stronger and great. And it's allowing yourself to come full circle with all these gifts and be present. And it's like you can hear the authenticity in my voice and the excitement when I share this stuff. And it's now like I've integrated my shadow of wanting to hide metaphysics. And now metaphysics is everything I do. When I'm talking on YouTube, I'm dissecting the intellectual introspection of it. When I share it on Skool, free Skool community in the comments below, I'm endlessly talking about all the different aspects of metaphysics and how you can apply them to your life and how to use everything unseen to be more seen and more magnetic and attract everybody to you and stop chasing. And people understand you, they hear you, and you don't have to do anything but sit there and relax and be yourself. And when it's your time to talk, people's jaws hit the floor because you're saying something that they can feel, and though they might not understand it, that their body, their spirit, their emotions are like, something here is landing. And you don't have to perform anymore because every word you say is meant for the person in the room instead of you having to find the person in the room, understand them, and pretty much shapeshift in order to people please them or connect with them on a different level, right? Versus be yourself. Be so magnetic to yourself, heal yourself, connect with yourself, integrate yourself. Take all these things like the nervous system, the ego, the shadow, put them together. And when you walk in a room, you don't have to say anything and people know you're there. They can feel you're there and they'll endlessly attract to you because you've done the inner work that is so hard that everybody talks about, but I'd say a quarter of the people actually do. And when you complete this work of growing your nervous system, maybe through cold plunging, Sananga, I forgot to mention that. I did Sananga for 21 days, or this is the end of my 21 days, and it's insane. Like, that was a cold plunge for my eyes, But it's taking all these tools and putting them together and allowing yourself to go through the process and not force the process of like, I have to integrate this now, I have to change this now, but it's leaning into it. It's allowing yourself to lead yourself through the process at the speed you need to go in order to not traumatize yourself more, but to connect with yourself on a deeper level. Introspection, I think, is the secret to all of this. And the more we go through self-discovery, the more we introspect, the more we reflect, and the more we spend time alone with finding solidarity, finding sovereignty in ourselves without anyone or anything. And then we reconnect to society, and then we grow those connections. Like, we're creating the greatest magnetic pool to ourselves by simply understanding ourselves, healing ourselves, growing ourselves, creating ourselves, and continuing to expand ourselves, and knowing that we're never at the end point, but we're always at an entry point to the next level of our soul, whether it be going further within to see more outside of you, or whether it's venturing more outside of you to go deeper within yourself. But it's this constant game of integrating everything that has been uncomfortable in life into your greatest comfort. And when you can do that through the methods I shared today and integrate, your nervous system and be regulated, so you're always in a secure state, you're non-reactive, you're grounded, you're allowing your energy to flow, but you aren't worried about speed because you know that if you're moving fast, it's smooth, so smooth is slow, right? but it's like slow is actually faster. I forgot that saying, but it's like, in order to go fast, you need to be smooth, and smooth is slow. So slow the fuck down to go faster. And that is the secret I will share here. Is just an added tip to this video. But as a whole, the best thing you can do to have power and to be magnetic and stop chasing is, number one, expand your nervous system and really, really, really focus on just finding comfort in yourself through discomfort. As we microdose discomfort, we create more comfort in our life. That is all you need to know about the nervous system. Is don't run towards discomfort every day and traumatize yourself, but find something in your life every day that you can be a little bit uncomfortable with to create more comfort for the future. Whether it be cold plunging, sananga, stepping out of your comfort zone, whatever that is, you'll know. Start small and work your way up. Baby steps. Don't try to traumatize yourself. It doesn't work very well. And then your ego endlessly wants to serve you, so figure out what you need help with. Instead of hiring a VA, a personal assistant, a secretary, you have this ego. It's invisible. It sits right here. Mine's right here like a little orb. And it's always like, hey. And when it's driving you insane, give it some attention. Ask it what it needs. Ask it how it can help you. Tell it how it can help you and see if it comes back to you with what you ask it for. I think it'll blow your mind. And then last, we have the shadow aspect, those parts of you that you don't want to let out, that you call monsters and actually bring chaos into your life. They bring you into the best rooms and they bring you the greatest gifts or lead you there. As soon as you can let them out, you can see them, you can honor them, you can express them, and you can do it in the most artful way. It'll bring you the greatest success. And stacking all these skills together will endlessly make people feel safe and secure and comfortable around you as you're creating the greatest stability and security that they've ever felt, the nervous system. Then your ego is your personal assistant that is endlessly there to serve you as long as you can allow it to serve you. It will not debilitate you, but it will lead you to your greatest success. And then your shadow, turning it from the monster, the non-expressed self that wants to be expressed, and connecting with it, expressing it, playing with it, and integrating it into your greatest magnetic pool into this lifetime. Or the angel that leads you into rooms and leads people to you that you need to connect with. You will endlessly see how much power you have, and you're doing it through absolute power rather than force. And you'll be blown away at how simple it is, how easy it is, how you don't have to do anything but be yourself, see yourself, connect with yourself, express yourselves. And that'll endlessly pull people that you need to talk to in front of you. And everything that you're trying to do, you'll simply solve by doing nothing, but simply being yourself and connecting with yourself. Thank you guys so much for being here. As I mentioned in the video, and it's in the pinned comment below, if you guys want to join my free online school called ENOCH, we help you understand everything unseen to be more seen. And then in my bigger offer, the channel, which is the holding tank, or the ENOCH is the holding tank. It's a nurturing spot. It's the pipeline for my bigger channel, or for my bigger offer, the channel byCHRIS. This is a personal brand accelerator for 12 founders. If you're interested in that, please reach out. I'll have a landing page link or something in this video, but yeah, guys, everything I do is literally to apply metaphysics and teach you all these metaphysical concepts of everything unseen to be more seen in life and create a more magnetic pool by simply being yourself. So if that lights you up and you're somebody who wants to go from unseen to seen, definitely subscribe to this channel and be sure to join ENOCH, my free school community, where you use everything unseen to help you be more seen. Peace.